Hey guys, today I will teach you how to crochet baby booties. What you will need for this project is a category 3 yarn, your crochet needle, your darning needle, stitch marker, and scissors. The size of your crochet needle is dependent on the size of the baby booties you want to make. For this pattern, I would suggest a 3mm hook for newborn, 3.5mm hook for 0 to 3 months, and a 4mm hook for 3 to 6 months. Okay, so to begin our project, we will chain 11. So first we will make a slip knot. So I'm going to wrap it around my finger and pull the yarn through the hole. I'm going to tighten up the hole, just like that. We'll put our hook through and we will start with a chain of 11. 1. I'm going to use our stitch marker to mark that first stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's our chain of 11. What we will do next is do 1 double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So we'll count over 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this chain, we're going to make our first double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into that 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 3 on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through that chain loop. 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. This is our first double crochet. The first 3 chains that we skipped at the beginning are not going to count as a stitch. So we will put our stitch marker into that first double crochet. Now we will do 1 double crochet in the next 6 chains. So we have 1 more stitch left, which is where our stitch marker is. We will do 8 double crochets in that last chain. So we'll remove the stitch marker and do 8 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to teach you a trick. This tail that we had at the beginning of our project when we made the slip knot, we're going to hide this so that we don't have to do it later. I'm just going to pull it tight and cut it shorter, just so that it's shorter than our row here. Now we're going to work into this part of the stitch, basically the other side. We will do 1 double crochet into the next 6 chains, and what we're going to do is hide our yarn in between it. So we're going to yarn over, put our needle through the next loop, which is going to go under everything. Now this yarn is going to wrap around this tail here, and we're going to yarn over, pull it through the hole, And now that tail right here is going to be in between these three loops and our actual working yarn. We're going to sandwich it in the middle. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we're going to do that 5 more times. As we continue, we pull this yarn to make sure everything is tight, and that way we don't have any hole here. As you can see, we don't have a hole in our work, and we also don't see that extra yarn. Now we will do 7 double crochets in the last chain. It's hard to see, but it is right there. This yarn is not the best, but you do have 1 more chain left there, and we'll do 7 double crochets in there. You really have to work that needle through because it gets tight right there. Alrighty, so we will now slip stitch into the top of our first double crochet, which is where we have our stitch marker. And that's going to close off our round. So we are going to go right into the top of that chain, yarn over, pull through, and pull directly through our hole on the hook. That is how you do a slip stitch and close the round. So that completes round 1. And we should have 28 stitches. So go around and count to make sure. Alrighty. So for round 2, we are going to chain 3, yarn over and pull through our hole 3 times. And remember, this is not considered our stitch. So we are going to do 2 double crochets into that same stitch. 1, put our stitch marker there, and 2 right into the same hole. We will do 1 double crochet into the next 6 stitches. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets into the next 8 stitches. So 2 in 1 chain. 1, 2, next chain, 3, 4, 11, 12, 15, 14, 15, 16. So we've now added 16 double crochets into those 8 stitches. Next we'll do 1 double crochet into the next 6 stitches. And we will do 2 double crochets into the next 7 stitches. And then we will slip stitch into that first double crochet. And you should have a total of 44 stitches in this round at the end of round 2. So for round 3 we're going to chain 3. And we are going to do a back loop double crochet into all 44 stitches. So every stitch around we will do a back loop. So when we say back loop, you can see we'll use a bigger stitch. This is our V. So when we look at the top of the stitches, you can see a V. Okay? The front loop is the side closest to us, the back loop is the side at the back. So in this V, this will be our back loop, this will be our front loop. This is the sole of our shoe. So we are working up now. So this is why we're going into the back loop of our stitches. So we can start working up. So think about up, back, okay? So we have our chain 3. We are going to do the double crochet the exact same way, except we're going into the back loop. So to show you, I'll put my needle through. We see 1 and 2 loops. The one closest to us is the front loop. The one furthest from us is the back loop. We're working in that back loop. We're going to do this 44 times, so 1 in each stitch around. 1, stitch marker, so we're just putting that needle right in between the V, right into the back part. So I'll meet you at the end. So I've completed the 44 back loop double crochets, and what I'm going to do is turn my work inside out. I do this because I love the ridge that it makes here. So this is our front loop showing. So I love that it gives it a little more detail in the booty. So we are now going to slip stitch into that first double crochet in the chain. And there you have it, the sole of our baby booty, and we started working up now. Okay, so now we have our 44 stitches still. We are now going to chain 1 and single crochet into that same stitch. And we will add our stitch marker. We are no longer doing back loops for this row. We are just going straight into the chain. Now we will do 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So insert, pull through, and pull through. 2. Next, we're going to shape the front part of the booty or the toe area. So we are now going to do 8 double crochet 2 together to shape the front of the booty or the toe part. So how you do this is you're going to yarn over like you're doing a double crochet, go into that next stitch, yarn over and pull through that chain, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through only 2 loops. That's where we stop for our first double crochet. We're going to do the same technique and go into the next stitch. So yarn over, go through the chain, yarn over, pull through that chain loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. We are now left with 3 on our hook. What we will now do is yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that is our first double crochet 2 together. We're going to do that 7 more times. Okay, so we have now done 8 double crochets 2 together, and you can see that it's starting to form the curve of our booty. It's starting to curl up. We will now do 1 single crochet into the next 20 stitches. Now we will slip stitch into our first single crochet. In this round, we should have 36 stitches. For round 5, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into that first stitch. Stitch marker, and then single crochet into the next 7 stitches. Now we will do 4 double crochet 2 together. We'll follow that up with 1 single crochet into the next 20 stitches. I'll meet you at the end of the row. So I just finished the 20 single crochets. We're going to slip stitch into the beginning of the round. And in this row you should have 32 stitches. We're going to chain 1 and single crochet into that same chain. And we will do 7 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1 in each stitch. Now we'll do 2 double crochet 2 together. Next we'll do a single crochet, 1 in each of the 20 stitches left. I'll meet you back at the end of the row. So I just finished the 20 single crochets. We're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet, and at the end of this row you should have 30 stitches. We're going to chain 1, single crochet into that first stitch. Mark it off, and then single crochet into the next 7 stitches. From here we'll do 1 double crochet 2 together. And then 20 single crochets. Once again, I'll meet you back at the end. At the end of this row, you will have 29 stitches, and you're going to slip stitch through that first single crochet. And as you can see, our booty is starting to come together really nicely. You should have 29 stitches at the end of this row. For row 8, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet through that same chain. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet for the other 28 stitches. So 1 single crochet in all stitches in the round. All right, and now we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. We're going to do another 10 rows with single crochets in all 29 stitches. One tip I will show you is that since we're doing the same thing in all rows, we're going to change direction. The reason why we're going to change direction is if we keep slip stitching, for example, going this way as we crochet, we're going to get a diagonal line going up here. When we alternate, you don't see that. So since we're not, making any changes to our next few rows, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one, turn my work, and work in the opposite direction. There's another tip for you guys. So you still would put your first single crochet into that same stitch. Okay? I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I just worked my way around in the opposite direction and we will slip stitch. Remember, we have 29 stitches. That's row 9. We're going to do row 10. So chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet into that first stitch. Then we'll go around and make 28 more stitches. Alright, so we'll slip stitch into our first single crochet. And what I'm going to do is leave our stitch marker in this row. This is our 10th row. We need to do 8 more rows. So this is just going to help me remember that that's there. It doesn't interfere with our work at all. You can stop here if this is the length that you like, but what I'm going to do is make a cuff and fold it over, so I'm going to continue for 8 more rows. So once again, chain 1 and turn. So we're going to do our 18th row here. 29 single crochets. Okay, so we are going to slip stitch. We now have done our 18 rows. I'm going to take this out and chain up 3 and fold it over and see if it's the length that I like for the cuff. You do not have to do it this long, it's totally up to you. Just like a little longer cuff. I just think it looks super cute. Alrighty, and there you have it. Our baby beauty, so cute. So what we're gonna do now is cut the yarn. And get our darning needle. So before we do that, after a slip stitch, it's up to you. Some people pull this stitch all the way through. Some people chain 1 and pull it all the way through and then go like this. That's usually how I do it. And then we'll put the end of our yarn through the hole of our darning needle. And we're going to weave it through, I would say, since we're folding it over, I'm going to weave it through on the outside in the first few rows. Before that though, I'm going to do a knot. So I'm going to go in through the next stitch and then make a knot. So go around, put it through the hole, and then you're just going to pull it as tight as possible to lock that in. And now I'm going to go through probably just the first few rows, or to the bend here is where you can go through, because we're bending it over so you're not going to see it on this side. So I'm just going to go down and through. We're just weaving it through behind stitches so that you cannot see it. You're going to pull tight, okay? So usually go down in one direction, the next direction, and vice versa, and so forth. You just want to make sure everywhere you go is under a loop so it's hidden. You can also work your way upwards, because we're going down, we can also go up. And then I'm going to pull tight. What I do is I pull tight. Here's the next tip for you guys. Pull tight, cut it close to the base, and then extend it. And that kind of pulls the yarn through and gets completely lost. You can't even see it. Now we're going to fold it over. Shape up the toe area. Make sure the cuff is the height that you like it at. And voila, there is your newborn baby booty. So for this one, we're going to make a string. 100 chains. Round, pull it through. Let's pull this one through. I'm doing it backwards, but anyway. Ta-da. So what I'm going to do is make a knot here. I'm going to cut it. And we're going to loop our yarn through. We're going to weave it in and out of this part. Take our darning needle, start with the end that we started off the chain with. Sometimes we can fit it through the darning needle, that hole, sometimes we can't. It looks like it's kind of stuck there, so we're going to start somewhere in the middle, so here, and I will just put it through the first layer of the booty. You can also go through the second layer of the booty, but I don't really want it to affect the baby's leg, so we'll just go through the first. And this is going to be really tight to pull through because the stitches are so small, but we'll pull it through. And we're just going every few stitches, you guys. We're going to go in here, go through a few stitches, come out. The most important thing is to make sure it comes out at the other side. I'm going to go in through here. have it. We have now weaved in our string. So I'm going to make the lengths of the laces equal so I can have a better idea of how long the string is going to be. I made 100 chains, so let's see if this will work for shorter. So these are pretty much equal in length now. I'm going to tie it as usual. A nice little bow, and then secure it off there. So what I'm going to do is fasten this off. So I'm just going to pull the string through, and that in itself is its own knot. We could do a knot on top of that just to make sure it stays in place. But just make sure you get it as close to that as possible, and then pull tight. There you go. And then what we're going to do is cut them the same length. So I'll just do it to about here. And then what you can do is use a lighter and burn the ends, but just be careful because it can turn brown. And there you have it, you guys. Our baby booty. I'd absolutely love to see your creations, so if you give this pattern a try, share it with me. Let me know how it turns out. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stick around for even more handmade goodness next time. See ya!